Right there, guys. Welcome back to Get Going Fast. It's Wednesday, and back to our live Q&A. We have a new hat, which we got for Father's Day, so good on that one. You know, the dogs chewed up the last one, which it's like having a dog is a blessing, but then at the same time, having a dog that chews welcome back up your stuff is not a blessing. So I have three of them, so I have like three blessing, not blessing kind of things going on. But I've also got three kids, you know, one to kind of counteract each dog. So good for that. We're back here. Got my favorite shirt on. We still unshaved. I always wonder why it is in the winter I feel like I need to shave. So like when it's cold, I feel like I just need to shave, get all this hair off my face. And then summertime comes when it's hot and you're like, let's grow a big old bushy hot beard. But that is one of those questions. It's kind of like asking about women, like who knows, you're never going to know. It's just one of the mysteries of life. All right, so we're kind of just waiting here, see if anyone pops in. 9-layer Nige just popped in. Thanks, Nige. Good to see you, Nigel. And Nigel just gave us a $3 sticker, so we're going to hoot and holler online for Nigel. So this one's for you, Nige. Woo! Yo! What's up? Hey, I'm even going to take my hat off. What? So, woo! Thank you, Nigel. Appreciate that. Nigel, of course, is a good follower of the group. He's been over on the Discord. You connect with him. He's doing all sorts of good stuff. In fact, Nigel, if you got I call him Nige. It's actually 9-layer Nige. That's my little term of endearment for him. But Nigel, if you got some videos you want to show stuff you've done, pop her on over to the Discord, and I will rile it on up. In fact, it's the same with all y'all. If y'all have stuff to show, I'd be happy to show it. Let's get this down real quick. This is from Comfy AI Art. Let's see if I can get that down here. Now, I believe that's Malcolm. I believe this is Malcolm's new page. So we're going to get that link, and we'll be sure to promote that for you so you can see it. But let's go ahead and bop. Let's see if I can pop this video up for y'all. Someone did that, and this is okay. What do we got here? Hold on just a second. So I'm clicking around on buttons as usual. All right, now I think if we just pop this into here.
Fool, don't you see now that I...
Okay, so this is from, like I said, local AI art, or Comfy AI Art, which, by the way, I'm always excited for you guys. Like, you like my little baby chicks. You know, I get to see you grow up and do your thing. And it's awesome. Like, you guys start, you don't know how to run Python, you don't know how to get mini conda going, and next thing you know, you're starting your own YouTube channels. They grow up so fast. So anyway, this is using my favorite lip syncing software, which is called Sonic. I think Sonic is the best there is. He did this through Comfy UI. You'll notice it's not a perfect square. This is actually got greater height than it does width. And that's good because usually Sonic does a square. So I'm going to have to check into that. But he did this with 12 gigabytes of VRAM, created the image with AI Flux, and it took him 42 minutes to do 11 seconds of video. So that's kind of a long time. With my 4090, I could probably get that done in 10 to 15 minutes. Sonic is usually fairly fast. I will going to mention no bones to Comfy AI art here. The sound itself is not that great. That's one of the problems with the cloning issues is a lot of these cloning things, if you don't start with a voice, it sounds kind of robotic and or just kind of flat. So what I do is I go to YouTube and I'll find a voice that I like, and then I'll take it and then I'll use that to clone and then alter it so it's a unique voice. But then that's how you get a more better voice than that. But anyways, this is really well done, even though I admit I don't like the voice all that much. But let's watch it and see what's going on here.
Fool, don't you see now that I could have poisoned you 100 times, had I been able to live without you, and I will not be triumphed over. Eternity was in our lips and in our eyes.
Okay, that's really well done. Let's watch it again and pay special attention to her lips and her mouth. She does some good pronunciations with it. So let's watch it again.
Fool. Don't you see now that I could have poisoned you 100 times, had I been able
Notice
to
the
live
head
without
nod.
you, and I will not be triumphed over. Eternity was in our lips and in our eyes.
Okay, so that's really good. No, she's like, eternity. And her head bobs it down. That's good stuff. And this is why Sonic, I think, is king. But again, he ran this through Comfy UI, and that's probably why he was able to get it to be more than a square. Normally you would throw this into the app and it would have cut her off around the neck, sort of thing. Okay, here's another one. Let's open this. This is something different. This is using, I believe this is with Framepack, but this guy was using a LoRA. So LoRAs, of course, are ways that we can, they're like fine-tunements of models. So you get a model can do a lot of generic stuff, but we create a fine-tuning of it, and then it can do something in particular better. So this is from a fellow called Contransan. Contransan's been cool. He's been popping around, and he always has some good things to say. So let's go ahead and take a look at what he's got. So this is a boxing LoRA. So, of course, that looks pretty good. Obviously, there's some weird movement there. But, again, I think Contrasan's doing what I do, and he's not so worried about, the quality so much as just getting something out at speed. But that's not bad. That's probably just a prompt of, like, two guys in a boxing match. Okay? So not the greatest thing, but you can imagine if you aggressively prompted this, put more steps, that'd be really, really good. So let's see what else we got. Nigel over here says he's working on his next YouTube video, but it's taking some time. Yeah, these all take some time. Let's see here. Okay, Gary is one of our, there's another Gary, believe it or not, there's two Garys, is one of our,
Have you ever
let's get this thing, one of our moderators.
Have you ever seen someone in power start to lose their integrity? Maybe it was a charismatic.
So he made this, but Gary mostly uses online tools, which is great. So he's actually a really good one to chat. If you come over to the Discord and you want to know free online solutions, Gary's great for talking about that kind of stuff with you. But here's something he put together, and I'll try to figure out what he used.
Leader whose every decision was motivated by what would look good in the news, or a close friend who suddenly looks down on you when they get a promotion at work, or a family member who, once successful, forgets all about the ones who supported them through thick and...
Okay, so that's a long one, but that's obviously really good. Now, this is evidently new in CapCut. So evidently CapCut has some new stuff coming out, which is great, because CapCut is one of these applications that I always want to use, but it's like anything good, you got to pay for it. Let's see if I can get that light. Seems a little bit shiny. Let's see if I turn that off. Is that better or worse? Good Lord. What do you guys think? Is it better with that light on or with it off? I'll keep it off for now. All right, so Coon Grizzly has popped in, and Coon Grizzly has to say, wait, where did it go? I, meanwhile, did a couple with two boxing LoRAs, and it gave a better result, but the characters from the LoRA training often take over the boxers from the image. So what he's saying is that he also made a video using boxers, but it actually created its own boxers. So one of the things that you can do, Coon Grizzly, is that in your Comfy UI, when you're running stuff, there is a LoRA strength slider. Let me see if I can pop one of these up here for you. And usually that's preset to be 1. So that's at 1 is 100%. So if you turn that down to 70, let's say so you put like 0.7 or 0.8, that can actually solve your problems of that LoRA taking over too much. So let me see if I can pop something up here and show you what that looks like real quick. In the meanwhile, if you guys got any questions, I'm just kind of riffing here. If you got any questions, pop them up. we're going to take a look at Wan2GP again. Wan2GP is amazing. I've really been into that. Oh, Coon Grizzly is Court and Son. Cool the way. I combined the two boxing LoRAs, first at 1 second, at 1. Oh, so first of all, Coon Grizzly is that guy that made the boxing video. So cool, good to help you. Or good to see you, good to have your help. Second is he did use that task. So we'll see what happens. All right, Steve Kennedy walked in the door. And Steve, of course, is one of our YouTube members. So he's got a little blue star next to him. So that means we go, hey, Steve, what's up? Good to see you. Welcome. Good to have you. We all go over and give Steve some pats on the back because that's what you get when you become a member over at YouTube. You're like a little bit of a special fella. So, Steve, it's good to see you. I'm glad to have you. And Steve writes, can you demo what's on your Discord server, like what's available to members and how to use any member-only channels? Okay, yeah, we can take a look at that. The Discord is like a lot of these things where there's a lot on there, but a lot of it's not utilized. So it's there. You can use it. But really kind of where the strength of our Discord comes is probably within 3 to 4 different channels. And really you guys getting and talking with yourselves amongst yourselves. What is it like? Talk amongst yourselves, that kind of thing, right? All right, let me see really quickly. We'll pop over to Discord here in a second. I just want to see if I'm waiting for this Chat GPT to pop up. Or not Chat GPT, the Comfy UI. I don't know why it's taking so long. But anyway, so here is the Wan2GP 2GB. By the way, if you downloaded this just even a week ago, you need to update it because they added a bunch of new models. Yo, check it out. Wan Text to Video Fusion X. Guys, Fusion X is the best model there is. There's just, again, if for my money, for what I can do, Fusion X is the best there is. Okay, it's incredible. It's fast. It looks amazing. For my money, that's what I'm going to be using. Now I want to show you this other one really quick. Hunyuan ACC video. It does the same thing that Wan does, or this Fusion X does, is they're actually using these LoRAs. And I need to study it a bit more to understand it. But basically what these things are doing is they're using these LoRAs that are, I think it's called forced diffusion. And I'm uncertain how it works, but it basically makes the model create the image in only like 8 steps. So, of course, a normal video or image, we would use like, say, 20 to 30 steps just for like a preview. And if we wanted to go higher quality, we go 40, 50. These things actually work with 8 to 12. So it cuts the length down incredibly. So I'm doing stuff, incredible videos with ACC video and with Fusion X in just a couple minutes. Now, here's the difference. With ACC video, that's your Hunyuan. So wink, wink, nod, nod. You can do more of your not safe for work stuff with this. Hunyuan is incredibly not safe for work friendly. Like, incredibly not safe for work. Like, ooh, like don't show your mother how not safe for work friendly Hunyuan is. And, of course, ACC video then, of course, means you can do them faster. You get your perv on even faster. Okay. But Fusion X is the stuff. If I want to make something just to impress somebody, I'm going to go with that. Okay, let's. I think we're just about ready. We'll pop over to the Discord here in just a second. We finally got our Comfy UI up. So hold on just 1 second here. This is loading. Man, I'll tell you what. I think it's time for me to reinstall my Comfy UI because evidently I've got so much stuff in there it's taking for freaking ever. So let's go browse templates. Okay, let's pop on over to here and you're going to see this is just a basic LoRA workflow, which you can get to by going to workflows and then browse templates. Now, here is your LoRAs down here. So let's right click that and bypass it or unbypass it. And you're going to see here it says strength. Okay. And it's at a 1. So if you want to make the LoRA less overpowering, you just close that down. Okay, so that's all that I wanted to show you there. All right, let's head over to the Discord here. I'm going to have to get this. Hold on, give me just a second here. How are we going to do this? All right, I hadn't had this set up. I didn't think we'd be going onto Discord, but I will. Okay, there we go. So there's our Discord. So we'll pop back over here in just a second. Let me read our notes. Steve says, oh no, 9 says, did you know you can use multiple LoRas from Civitai with WAN 2.1 Fusion X in a workflow using the multi-LoRa node thing? I'm just trying some camera control LoRa's. Yeah, absolutely. You get the Kijai nodes. I think even the RG3 nodes, which are just your basic, let's pop back over there. Just your basic nodes. You can right click, go to add node. I think RG3 might have them, but let's go down to our Kijai nodes. And they should have in here a loader function. Wait, where'd we go? Well, at any rate. Oh, here we go. Load images, load. Well, whatever. You can play around with these, and you'll find that they have. I know up here you got your main loaders. There's just a basic load LoRa. They have ones that you can do multiple. So just look around. Off the top of my head, I'm not throwing it, but then you can put as many LoRa's as you want. Typically, what you want to do though is if you have one of the LoRa's at 1, then put the next at 0.9, and then 0.8 and 0.7, and kind of give them a hierarchy of importance. But you could use as many LoRa's as you want. In fact, a lot of these workflows with images, Fidel Cocoon, obviously he's one of our administrators. He's the Nordic Viking legend over there. He does incredible stuff, and he's running like 3 or 4 LoRa's because you got one for an eye, one that's doing eyes, one that's doing hands, one that's doing motion, all this stuff. But that's also why you could take going from making one image in 15 seconds to taking 3 minutes, because every LoRa you add, you're adding resource time to it. Okay, let's see here. Steve says, I almost wish Wan2GP would categorize the text to video separate from the I2V more. I'm not sure which is which. Yes, and that is the problem with the Wan2GP, or with at least with the VASE, is it can be difficult to tell which is which. So if we go over here and we click, like, say, VASE Fusion X, you'll see over here you got like a video. It does do a really good job of popping stuff in, but I know that you can use this with image to image, and it does not show it here. Now you got other ones like here. Let's go to your WAN 2.1. Let's go to your image to image. Again, you're going to have so it does pop around options, but you're right, it does get confusing. When you're doing it in Fusion, when you're doing it in Comfy UI, you get the workflow, and the workflow is confusing because it's one workflow for all the different things, but you have to bypass certain nodes. You know, the image to image is the text to video, is the video to video, depending on what's been highlighted and what's not. Okay, Malcolm says, I'm thinking of upgrading my GPU to an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3090. Go for it. Would the AI software run faster than my 3060? Yes, 3090 is an awesome card. That before the 4090 came out, the 3090 was the card, and it's still the card. In fact, with a 3090, just on a side note, I was looking into this. You can mine bitcoins or mine crypto with a 3090. So I got a 4090, but the amount of crypto that I could do with this wouldn't make sense because mine uses so much power. But the 3090 is actually the bomb card, and that's the card everyone wants. If I could get a 3090, I would get a 3090 and I would put it in with my 4090. So I would go with the 3090. Awesome card. In fact, I wish I had two 3090s instead of one 4090. Hey. All right. Meagle is here. So Meagle, welcome. I don't know if you've been here before. Let's give Meagle a clap. Hey-o. We're going to give you some of these little celebrates, and we'll give you a couple 100s. So Meagle says, having fun with Framepack. Installed it 2 days ago. Disappointed the WAN LoRa's don't work on it yet. So that's a good point. We'll have to ask Colin Herbs about that. I know that they've already We just had our massive upgrade to Framepack Studio, which you can get by going to framepack.getgoingfast.pro. Yo! It's got all the accelerators on it. We just had the massive upgrade, and he said like literally the day after the guys were already working on the upgrades. So we'll be hearing more from him about what's coming out with that. I know that he wants to integrate Vase into it because Vase is just so incredible. So we'll see what happens down the road. I really think Framepack's going to be coming out good. The thing with Framepack LoRa's though is Framepack is based off of Hunyuan, I believe. So you need to use Hunyuan LoRa's. Okay. Steve says it's funny how we all pronounce Civitai differently. I guess I've been saying it as Civit AI. Yeah, that's probably actually what it is. It's probably Civit AI. I call it Civitai for short. Point says, hey, welcome, by the way, Point. Bam. Point says 3090 finally shown its weakness when video models came out, though. Okay. Evil Shadow X. I don't know if Evil Shadow X has been here, so welcome, Evil Shadow X. Good to see you. Leave your evil shadow at the door, though. Come on into the light, my brother. No, I'm just kidding. You're welcome. And he says, do you have a workflow to change hair color of videos? What I would do, so he's asking, do we have something with Comfy UI where we could change the color of the hair? What I would do, and I think we can actually do it even here with Wan2GP, is use a mask creator. So let me upload a video. Let's actually do an image. Let me upload an image. Okay, and then let's click load image. This is actually one of the really cool things about Wan2GP is they have some amazing stuff going on here. So I'm clicking this. Okay, there we go. Now let's click her hair and see what happens. Oh, okay. Well, there it created just a mask over the whole person. So you could actually you could probably use this mask and throw it into something like an image to image or video to video and say, change the hair. Another thing that you can look into, and I don't know if we've covered it or not, is Florence. So Florence is a Microsoft thing. I wonder if I have it over here. Is a Microsoft technology. Here's Florence 2. Here it is. And what Florence does is you can throw an image into it and then you give it an LLM prompt. So it's actually a large language model. So you throw an image into Florence and then you'll say something like about the hair, change the hair color to brown. And Florence is trained on understanding what different parts of images are. So this is actually an answer, Evil Shadow. Look into Florence 2, okay? Florence 2 and Comfy UI is a good way to do that. But no, I don't have anything off the top of my head, all right? And I don't have much on the top of my head either. I'm getting old. All right. Point says same to mask hair would be the easiest. Yeah, Sam too, same thing. So Point, as usual, is on point. What's up, Point? You like trying to undercut me here with your knowledge? Yo, bro. I declare a thumb war, man. All right, so anyways, Point's a good guy, so obviously you should come find him on Discord too. He knows what he's talking about. Malcolm says Magic Quill would be good for this. Malcolm's correct. Magic Quill is awesome, and this is why I love Malcolm. Malcolm and me are on the same page. Malcolm, my brother from the UK, I love me some good Magic Quill. Okay, Magic Quill is such a simple software. You throw in an image, you just paint the part that you want, and then you tell it what you want to change, and it will do it. And it's simple. I like simple stuff. I'm thinking about my buddies out in India and my buddies in Pakistan and my buddies down in South America who don't have great internet connections a lot of the times. And I'm thinking like, these guys, they just want to get in there and do some fun stuff. And Magic Quill is like, it's such an easy app to use. And it is powerful. I love it. It's just in painting. Okay. Steve says something for back of your mind. It would be nice to have a good blog article to know the strengths and weaknesses of the different popular models. It's so noisy lately. It's hard to keep up with it. That is true. I don't know that I can do that. I'm not organized enough in my brain to get down a detailed thing. But this is where as a group, as a community, we all put together each other's strengths. So like Steve, if that's something you could do, I know that Nigel is really good at that. If you could do something like that, come work with me, give me the information, I will post it, I'll give you promotion. And this is why I think it's good for you guys to have your ego page. Like, I think Malcolm, are you Comfy UI Art? Is that your site? Anyway, but that's why I like stuff like that. Get your own ego page, and then you can post it, you can share it with Get Going Fast. We'll send people your way, use your information. But you're correct, that would be great information to have. I'm not gonna get it. Okay, Evil Shadow says, thank you. All right. Red Lash shows up. Welcome, Red Lash. Good to see you. Because I was watching your Wan2GP and wondered, is it possible that UV can replace Conda for Vim and install a certain version of Python like Conda? If so, would you show us how? Okay. And he says, thank you. So he's asking, okay, really quickly, I'm going to ask this other question. Evil Shadow says, do you have a schedule of this stream? Yes. Evil, what we do is we do this at 2:30 every Wednesday. Okay, that's 2:30 Mountain Time. So at the same time, we do this every Wednesday. Also on Monday mornings at 8 or around, like 9:30, 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I'm in Idaho, so like in Washington, Oregon, California, it's 1 hour behind. So let's say it's 9 o'clock in California, it's 10 o'clock here. So around 10 o'clock on Mondays, we have our weekly review. Okay, we go over everything we talked about last week, and then we have a new flagship project. So then I give you guys something to work on. Then on Wednesdays at around 2:30 every week, we're going to have this live Q&A. If I can get 5, I put up, this thing where you guys can give stickers to help, because this is my full-time job. If I can get 5 of those in one stream, we'll do an extra stream later in the week, okay? But let's get back to Red Lash's question really quick. He says he wants to know about UV and pip, okay? And can you install certain thing of Python? So as far as I understand, UV does not install different versions of Python, but big but, right? What you can do is, if you have multiple versions of Python installed, here, let me actually open this up. If you have multiple versions of Python installed, you can use Python's virtual environment to access the correct one. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go over again to the command line. We're gonna have to pop this back over. Okay, check this out really quick. So normally, when we're doing something in the command line, we would create. If we're doing Conda, we would create a virtual environment by going Conda env, or what we do, we go Conda create, I think, and -m, and then my env, and then we could give it the Python version. Python equals 3.11.1 or something like that, and it will create that for us, okay? That's what he means. That's what, who was it that asked that question? That's what Red Lash meant. Now, when we use Python to create a virtual environment, we go something like this. It just uses whatever Python we have installed in our system. So if I type Python -- version, you're going to see I have Python 3.10.11, which means it's going to install a virtual environment with that version, okay? If I need 3.11, it's not going to work, okay? There is no way to force it. Now, UV is the replacement for pip. We've talked about this in a few other videos. UV is coming down the track. Within a few years, we probably won't use pip. Pip, the difference being pip installs dependencies like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes down. If one thing breaks, fix it. What UV does is UV looks at things and it says, what's the fastest, best way to install this stuff? So it goes, maybe it goes 1, 5, 3, 2, whatever. So it actually kind of plans it out. It's like going on a road trip with your aunt. Okay, like if you just go with me, we're going point A to point B, and we might have missed this, But my auntie, she's going to sit there and she's going to know the times that things open. She's going to know the best place to get here, and so she's going to arrange the schedule for us. That's what UV does. But as far as I understand, does not add things. But okay, that was a lot. That was a lot of words. All that to get down to saying, let's say I want to use a Python virtual environment, but I want to use 3.11, but I got 3.10 on my system. Here's what you would do. You would go ahead and install the Python on your system that you want. So say I want to install Python 3.11 or whatever, okay? Then when I create my virtual environment, instead of using Python-M, watch this, I'm going to use py-m. And then I'm going to go, I think like this. I'm not sure that this is actually totally correct, but I think it's like this. Now I'm going to go like this, py.3.11, then I'm going to go -m, v, and v. You can ask ChatGPT the exact thing. But basically what this is going to do is this is going to tell your system, say, listen, look at all of the Pythons, not just the one that's at the top of the environmental variable list. Maybe you got 5 Pythons installed. This is going to say go through all of them and find this version and use that one. Okay, so the difference is Conda, you can actually download the Python you don't have, and it will create it just in that environment. When you use py with Python, you can use other Python environments, but you have to have them installed. Okay, that should be clear as mud. Okay, so Evil Shadows from Mexico. Cool, good to see you. Hola, amigo. DSP Photos says Wan 2.1 does Wan in forceps, but still great quality. It's even better than Fusion X. Light X2V config. Okay, cool. We'll have to check that out. I had actually heard about this. So he's saying there's a new, I don't know if I can highlight this. It's a LoRA. He's saying that there's another LoRA that can actually go even faster than Fusion X, which would just be amazing because Fusion X is huge fast. Okay, I'll have to look for that later. Okay, let's quick on over to Discord. I'm going to show you the Discord really quick, and then I think we'll call it good for the day. I had a surprise drop in from my daughter, so that's always fun. So she's over there watching a movie while I finish this out. But so really quick, Steve says Conda seems so much better because it seems like it's more isolated. So in some ways, yes. In some ways, no. The problem with Conda is that Conda uses your system. So it's not even a problem. It's a feature, right? We have to decide if you like the feature. So when you install Conda, it keeps the environments in one folder on your system, and that folder could also be on your users. You know, you go to your C drive, then you go to users, you choose your username, then you choose app data, and then under there's a hidden file called .miniconda, and then .e. So it drills into the system. Conda is integrated into the Windows system. Python is integrated into the folder. So all you have to do to delete a Python virtual environment is delete the folder. That's it. You created it, you delete it, it's gone. With Conda, you have to go in there and do some commands to remove it. I've had problems with Conda where it gets disconnected, then you have to go do it manually. So Conda is clean, and it is a nice way to do things. But I prefer Python just because, again, I think it's cleaner. Okay? But, you know, it's just, it doesn't matter. There's no fanboy. I mean, there's probably somebody that's a fanboy around it, but no fanboy issues. So whatever works best for you. Okay. Let's pop over and take a look at Discord real quick. Someone asked, Meagle asks, is Discord free? Yes, Discord is free. Okay, so it's just, let me show you really quickly. To install Discord, all you got to do is go to your browser. Just type in Discord and just go over and get it. Just download it. And it'll download to your computer, run it like any app. So it's actually a Windows app. And then you'll have to create an account for it. So create whatever your cool username is. And then you come in and you can use one of my invites. And it will pop you over to this. Hold on. Okay, so shoot. Hold on. Where did it go? Why is it so? There we go. Okay, so this is what the Discord looks like. And Discord is pretty much just a place where you can chat with people easily. Okay. So you'll see over here, you have a list of different channels. So basically what you do, not channels, I guess these are servers. You join different servers. Okay, so you can see all these different ones that I'm a part of. Okay. And then up here at the top is ours. It's CogniBuild AI, Understanding AI. So CogniBuild is actually the name of my business. Get Going Fast is like a business underneath the banner of CogniBuild AI. But here's the main things about this. When you come into Discord, you pretty much want to find the general channel. Okay, and the general channel is where most people drop in their stuff. So you get one of these stupid little emoji things, these things. It'll say something like this: "See everyone, welcome Valio." Okay, and so then someone will click that, and you'll go, "Hey, welcome." You get some dumb bird thing. But pretty much the general place is a good place just to come and say hi. It's not the place that you want to come in and drop your troubleshooting questions. Okay, like a lot of people come in there and they're just like splat, and it's like this is like the lobby. But you're welcome to come and have conversations in the lobby, do whatever. This is probably where most of the activity happens. But the over here on the left, you'll see there's different things. Now, some of these, they'll show up on mine, but for some reason they don't show up on yours. And I think what you might have to do is check your settings and just show, it'll say show all folders. But let me show you the big important ones. The biggest ones we have here are under topic specific. So we've got our video generation channel, and this is a good place just to drop in the stuff that you've been working on, okay, and just to show it off. So a lot of this, oh, look at, who's this? So this is Steve did a sitcom
thing. He means well, but his spreadsheets, they're like a labyrinth.
And the guy microwaves fish.
In the break room.
So that's pretty good. But this is pretty much a place, again, come share your stuff. There is something on Get Going Fast that I put up there. It's called the Sneech Convert. Like if you guys know the Dr. Seuss and the star-bellied Sneeches, and it can take a MP4 and it'll convert it into a GIF file like this. So this was an MP4 and I just converted it into a GIF. Can make it easier to upload. You can usually only upload 10 megabytes worth of stuff. So this is the video generation. Come share your stuff. Lamario hangs out over there. Lamario is really knowledgeable about this stuff. Here's the image generation. So again, you can just throw stuff in there. And people like to chat around there. Audio generation has been fairly popular. Nigel's been hanging out in there quite a bit. And all of these you can pretty much find a group that you want to find. You got model training, Android phone. The majority of these don't get used. But you could certainly use them. And in fact, when you're having a longer conversation, it's better to go into here and play with that. We've got to play music, so actually you can talk with Fidal Cocoon, and actually over here, we've got bots running, so you can play music here if you want to be playing music and share it with people, and that will put it over into the music channel. Okay, here's a big important one. Under support Q&A, you got your troubleshooting section. Okay, if you're having trouble, the best thing to do is come over here and click new post. So if you drop a bunch of stuff over in here into general, I'm going to tell you, or someone's going to tell you, go put it into troubleshooting, and then we'll get back to that. That way everyone can help. You can also scroll through here and find out a lot of what problems people have already had. I swear like 60, 70, 80% of the problems I get have to do with face swapping with Roop. So it's been answered. See again here, here's Roop Floyd error installation. So probably if this guy just paid a look at the other ones, he'd solve it. But this is a good place to go. And then we got our voice channels. So your voice channels, you pop into these. And this is where you can actually go chat with people. So if you want to come and talk with someone, just go in here, have a microphone, and you can actually chat with them. You can go over here to your movies and screen shares. Sometimes I'll play a movie, I'll put something on, and you can just sit and watch. Or, you're playing a video game, you can just stream it to there. Those are the main things. We do have up here at the top, I think we have a... introduction. So you're welcome to come and share your introduction over here. And I think really the key is, guys, is that Discord rises and falls upon you guys interacting with each other. I can't interact with everybody all the time. It's like I'm fairly busy and my brain is scattered. So I pop in, pop out, but really the strength comes when you guys chat with each other. You go looking for Lemurio, go looking for Point, go looking for Nigel, these kind of things. Now, there are a few membership things in here that we have, but I haven't really got these working yet. So essentially what I would like to do is if you're a farmhand with Get Going Fast, obviously you get all of the software for free on there. You join and then you can download whatever you want. Okay, let me, so my thought with this was going there farmhand, you could download them from the Discord. Same with the prairie dog stuff, but I haven't really utilized it, so I wouldn't worry about it. Maybe in the future we'll get that going. That was kind of a last Christmas thing. We started working on that and just never really followed up with it. We do have another bot on here. Let me show. You're always welcome to come talk to our mom bot. Mom bot's cool. Just give her a chat and be like, Mom, walks in the door with a bunch of friends. I just wanted to show off the house to my buddies from school and let them meet my mom. And Mom will actually talk back here. So Mom's kind of a fun thing. She's like just a little encouraging bot. She's classic mom, like eat your vegetables. Oh, well, hello, sweetie. It's nice to finally meet your school friends. Please make yourselves at home. We could always use more love in this household. Gee, just like a mom, right? Now, would any of you lovely young folks like a cold glass of freshly squeezed lemonade while you're waiting for ice cream? Just give me a few minutes and I'll have it whipped up for you in no time, darlings. So that's MomBot. You're always welcome to come talk with Mom as well. Mom's a lot of fun. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Let me see if... So, what a guy said here. Let's go through our questions really quick. Yeah, Steve says, as a member, should I be utilize the members only channel? No, you don't need to use the members only channel, as we just covered. JS, welcome, says, which WAN version do you recommend for RTX 5090? Well, I use quant models, so he's asking, he's got a nice card. He's asking which model. If I was over here on Wan2GP, I would go, let's see here. Yeah, I would try this 720 14B. You could easily run that. If you're running Comfy UI, I run quant models, and so use a Q8. And if you get something, if you get a larger model and it's not working, just go to a smaller model. Because I'll tell you, if you try running FP16, BF16, it's not going to work even on a 5090. So it's really about just testing it. But yeah, go for the bigger models. Go for the bigger quants. Evil Shadow, is there much difference in speed between the 4000 and 5000 series? Okay, I don't really know. I run a 4090, which was the best card there for a while, and it's awesome. It does great. Okay, I've heard that the 5000 series is a little faster, but not incredibly faster. I don't know. But obviously, if you can upgrade, I will tell you the thing about the 5000 series is harder to use. Okay, because they're still coming out with stuff. So I have apps that will not work with the 5000 series. I spend quite a lot of time the last few weeks fixing applications to work with the 5000, but there's still a few that are difficult. Point says 30% difference according to KJ for video generation, but 50 series will have much faster 4-bit. Okay, cool. JS says thank you. 9 says he has a 5090. Yeah, 9, tell us about your 5090. 9's killing it, man. He's loving it. Point says you should calculate by looking at CUDA cores for each card. Okay, go guys. See, this is a great purpose for Discord. Go talk to Point on Discord. Steve says I have a 5090. I wish we could discuss more about the 5090 overclock settings in the hardware. Yeah, well, you can come over to hardware and ask questions about it. I just don't know. I'm not a hardware guy. I'm a software guy. So like I'm the guy who buys a car and I don't know anything about cars. I just know it looks good. I go, looks good. Looks, sounds good. Gives me where I want to go. That's me. Okay. It's the same with hardware. I can only know so much, right? And hardware is just not one of my things. But there are guys that know. So head over to the Discord, hit the hardware channel up. DS Photo says Wan 2.1, like 9-second video in about 7 minutes. And that's on a what? That's a 50-60. That seems long for me, but I think you can get a 9. I did an 11-second video in 4 minutes, maybe 5, using Fusion X and the Honey One ACC. So maybe Disc Photos come over and talk with us. I'll take a look and see what maybe you need to get your accelerators going, but that's still not bad. Point Avel says 9-second video. I haven't gotten more than 7.75. So yeah. Point, I made an 11-second video. Sup, yo. Okay. 9 says Steve, post over on Discord about 50-90 cents. Yeah. 9 and Steve, you guys need to get together. Steve just gave a $2 gift, so we're gonna woot and holler one more time for you. Thank you, Steve. Woohoo! Ho! What's up? What's up? The roof, all that good stuff. Yo, it's on fire. Woo! Thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate that. That is a blessing. That puts another cheeseburger in my fat little belly. That keeps me going on late at night. I'm like, I can't go on. I need to program for these films, but I can't. And then that $2, I'm like, that's right. Cheeseburger. I'll stuff cheeseburger in my mouth, and then I'm ready to go. Like Popeye the Sailor Man. But for cheap beef. Okay. Okay. So I think we're going to end it up there. If you guys have any last second questions, let me know. I'll hang out here for like another 30 seconds or so while we wait. And then we will call her good. In the meanwhile, remember, next Monday we are having our weekly review. This week's flagship project was to work with Wan2GP. So what I suggested you guys do is you go on there, use all the models, create single thing you can, and see how fast they work, and let me know the results. Come over to the Discord, share them in your video, in the video thing, and I will share them, and give me a heads up, and I'll share them. I do want to show you one thing real fast. If you go back over to your Wan2GP, under guides here, there is this models overview, and it will actually tell you a bit about each model and what does what. Okay, so and what they're best for. That's really good. So like this one up here, I think it's Movie Gen. So you're like, oh, what's Movie Gen? It says it's experimental. So that's good to know. Okay, so these are all. This is a really great way to. This is awesome. This is a great app. It's going to be really interesting to see how this and Framepack Studio go parallel with each other, because I mentioned this to Colin Herbs about how great this app is, and he goes, yeah, it is a great app. He acknowledged. He goes, but they're doing something different than we're doing, and so that's cool. I'm going to be excited to see how these two grow up in tandem. Okay, I think with that, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you guys for coming in. Steve, always good to see you. Again, he's a Blue Star member. If you guys want to get called out on YouTube, just pay it's like $2 a month or something like that, $3 or something like that, and I will shout you out and treat you like the coolest guy in the world. So, which you, by the way, are, regardless if I call you out or not. You are the coolest guy in the world. But I'll make a big deal about it. Migo says, okay, look forward to more Framepack videos from you. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. So come on over to Discord, join us up. In the meanwhile, you guys stay good, enjoy your summer, call your mother, tell her you love her, and we will talk with you